In this video, we're going to create a pickup factory that spawns when the creature dies. Now, there's numerous ways you can go about doing this. You could actually extend from a dropped pickup class. You could create your own class, and from extending from actor and probably spawn your item that way as well. But we're just going to kind of stick with our pickup factory since we're already using them. We will have to change some things because the pickup factory is not normally intended for this use, but we're going to make it through changing the code to make it work for us. To get started, we have our class puz pickup factory underscore star, and it extends from puz pickup factory, and it's placeable. But even though we're really not going to be placing this in the map, if somebody were to place this in the map, it really wouldn't do them a whole lot of good because we actually have a lifespan on this, so it'll die eventually. But we could always set that up later if someone wants to place stars in the map somewhere, that it won't die depending on if it was placed in the map or not. But for right now, we have variable dynamic light environment component iLight, and we have variable integer star point value. This is the point value you get when you pick up this star. And inside of give to, once again we give that false impression, and we shoot to handle star pickup that will in our player controller class. So we'll just jump over there real quick. Inside handle star pickup, all we really do is we call on our puz game and we add points to our player points, and then we also tell our HUD to add points as well. And that's pretty much all handle star pickup does. So back over here, inside of our puz pickup factory underscore star, we scroll down and we once again remove the components. We add the light like normal. We change our static mesh, of course. And then down below, we set our inventory type to puz inventory underscore star, which we'll jump over real quick. Puz inventory underscore star extends puz inventory, just like the rest of our puz inventory items. Nothing really going on there yet because there's really no reason for it. And inside we set our star point value to 10. We set B static to false, even though that's already set to false, we just do it anyway. And then B no delete we set to false because we want to let this spawn. If B static is true and B no delete is true, or vice versa, or any of them between the two of them are true, the game won't spawn the creature on demand like that because it's not made to be spawned. So we set these two to false just to make sure, and that allows us to spawn this item on at will. Then we also set lifespan to 15, which means 15 seconds this thing will disappear on its own. We won't have to do anything for it. And then we also set tick group to tg underscore pre-async work, which allows lifespan to work properly without throwing errors and things like that into our log. Okay, so we have our pickup factory set up. Now how do we spawn it? Well, we go inside of puzpawn, and we want this item to spawn when the creature dies. So because puzpawn is being used by the player as well, we want to make sure we separate that out. We don't want the player to spawn this when it dies. It doesn't make sense for that. So we're going to do a few things. First, we're going to say, first we're going to check if the killer is not equal to none. So this basically means that there is an actual killer. You can go to died, and there might, the killer could possibly be equal to none, or it could be like the player. It could, it's through a suicide type thing. Then we go to if puz player controller killer is not equal to none. So that means if the player actually was the killer. We also set puz AI controller is not equal to none. So that means we're now saying the actual pawn's controller is a puz AI controller. So the killer is the player, and the pawn's controller is the pawn that got killed is a AI. And then next we also check is and that the puz AI controller AI info is not equal to none, so that there is some sort of information class that's associated with this. Otherwise, there probably won't be a drop item class. Following that, we go inside, we say if the AI info .default.drop item class is not equal to none, so we want to make sure there is a drop item class. And if there is, then we spawn that drop item class. And then after that, because this has a return value, we want to return it. And because we're not really sure what to return, we want to keep the code there. We're going to just return the code. So return super.died killer damage type and hit location. So what happens is this then, first we run this code, then we run all this code, and it returns the value of this code. And that pretty much allows us to keep the code inside of this function without having to copy paste the whole thing in there and then just change a little bit here and there or whatever we have to do. And that will pretty much complete this. So now when you pick up your ability to shoot and you shoot the creature will actually die, and when he dies, he will leave behind a star. Now the star just kind of sits there. Doesn't really do a whole lot, but eventually we'll move into adding more visual effects and things like that. But for right now, we just want to get the foundation started for this game and make sure everything's working in terms of that. Visual effects is usually just kind of extra things you add to spruce it up, not really anything to do with the game itself. So that completes this video.